Hi, and welcome to Know What You're Talking About. Today we're talking about Module 3, DQ2. What we have here is a young woman with very unusual tastes in food. It tells us that Jane spends all her income on hot dogs or caviar. Her demand curve for caviar is inelastic at all prices. Unfortunately, there's been an accident at Chernobyl. Price of caviar is going to rise. So what has happened to Jane's consumption of hot dogs? Explain. Okay, so why would Jane's consumption of hot dogs change just because the price of caviar went up? Does that make sense? Why would her consumption of hot dogs change just because the price of caviar went up? Well, it all has to do with a couple of things that it tells us here in the DQ. The first thing we need to know is Jane spends all her income on hot dogs and caviar. That's the only thing she buys. So there is no more income. The next thing, Jane's demand curve for caviar is inelastic at all prices for caviar. Inelastic. What does inelastic mean? Remember when we were looking at the elasticity formula when we were doing the previous DQ? Elasticity is percentage change in quantity divided by percentage change in price. Inelastic demand means that this percentage change in price is much greater than this percentage change in quantity. Basically, what this is telling us is her demand is inelastic. She will keep buying caviar no matter what the price. No matter what the percentage change in price, her percentage change in quantity will remain steady or decline hardly any at all. She's just going to keep buying the same amount. So think about it. She's going to buy the same amount of caviar, but now the price of caviar has gone up. Well, that tells us that it's going to cost her more to buy the same amount of caviar, right? If 1 pound or 1 ounce used to be $50 and now 1 ounce is $60, well, it costs more. It costs more to buy the caviar. Same amount, but it costs more. So if she spent all of her income on either hot dogs or caviar, but now she's going to spend more of her income on caviar because she's not going to cut back on her caviar consumption. She's going to keep buying even though the price went up, but the caviar is going to cost more now. What's going to have to happen with her hot dogs? That's the heart of this DQ. Here's another thing to think about, and we can talk about this as we discuss your responses, which I'm really looking forward to reading, by the way. Will Jane's demand for caviar remain inelastic at all prices? Think about it. At $50 an ounce, she's still buying. At $500 an ounce, maybe she's still buying. At $5,000 an ounce, maybe she's still buying. At $50,000 an ounce, oh my goodness. Maybe at $500,000, at $5 million an ounce, at some point, there has to come an end. There has to come a point when demand becomes more elastic, but it's outside the range of Jane's income. So for this question, Jane's going to keep buying the caviar. So think about how that would all work, and I look forward to reading your responses and giving you full credit for this DQ. I'll see you next time on Know What You're Talking About.